The man's reproductive organs had been stolen by a ghost, and Natalie had to constantly use her psychic powers to suppress the curse. Otherwise, Charles would be possessed by the vengeful spirit known as the High-Speed Granny. To find a permanent solution, Natalie sought help from her grandmother, a spiritual medium. But the moment Charles stepped into the house, a sudden blaze engulfed his entire body. Natalie quickly used her powers to hurl him into the river, only to realize that her grandmother had placed an exorcism talisman on the door. She removed it temporarily to keep Charles safe. Back in the room, Natalie was about to change her clothes when Charles nearly lost control to the possession again. She hurriedly told him to turn around, and once she had changed, she even asked about the condition of his missing organ. Though the place was now empty, it wasn't something that could simply be checked on a whim. Just then, the doorbell rang. The sound instantly put Natalie on alert. Their house had two types of bells, one for humans and one for evil spirits. This unfamiliar chime was clearly from the latter. Realizing it was because she had removed the talisman, Natalie and Charles decided to go outside and put it back in place. But the moment they stepped out, they discovered that the courtyard was surrounded by towering walls. The cursed Charles was also trapped inside, making it impossible for Natalie to affix the talisman directly. While she was at a loss, the massive ghost finally appeared. A single clap from its hands sent shockwaves that pinned them to the ground, and a single punch left a deep crater in the wall. Fighting it head-on was hopeless, so the two immediately fled. Natalie wanted to use her psychic powers to battle, but once she focused on fighting, she could no longer suppress Charles's curse. At that moment, however, Charles came up with a bold idea. He asked Natalie to lift the suppression but keep control of his mind intact. That way, he might be able to harness the High-Speed Granny's power without being fully possessed. Though hesitant, Natalie had no time to deliberate. She followed through, and Charles's body began to transform. As the ghost struck, Charles, empowered by Natalie's aid, successfully transformed, evading the attack. Power surged through him, but for some reason, every time he transformed, an inexplicable bloom would take over his emotions.